Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
I feel like I'm on my phone hours a day, just like without even being conscious of it.
Each year, smartphone users open their devices without any reason 10,000 times, according to a new study.
But just how distracting are phones, and how much time is really spent mindlessly swiping through notifications?
Valley News Team's Molly Casey found out.
I'll think it vibrates and I'll look. Oh no, nothing happened.
Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, notifications fill our screens, but what it really fills is our minds. We're addicted to checking our phones.
I thought I maybe missed a notification or something, so then I'll look at it. And if it's not there, I'll just make sure that I don't have anything on there.
Phones are everywhere. We are trained to tap, swipe, and check for notifications that may not even be there.
If no one's messaged me in a while, I'm like, what's everybody up to?
Watching TV, I'm just like on my phone, doing nothing. I don't know why, I just do it.
And with new technology,
to unlock it, you swipe up.
just looking at a phone unlocks a world of distractions. And you can check how long you've used it too.
So I've already just been on my phone for over 3 hours, I guess.
Probably 4 or 5 hours.
I'd say at least 75% of the day, like if I'm awake.
Some are learning to break the addiction.
I have all my social media notifications turned off.
You can shut off the notifications so then you don't get them all the time.
I turn most of my notifications off on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff so I don't get distracted with it.
But the reaction to phantom notifications and our constant need for interaction isn't slowing down. From Fargo, Molly Casey, Valley News Live.
Typical phone users check their phone around 28 times a day, according to the study, but the top 10% of users check their phone around 60 times a day. If you want to look into this study further, we've got a link to it on our website. Just go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. A bicyclist was taken to the hospital tonight after being hit by a car that slid on the ice while trying to stop at a stop sign. It happened at the intersection of 12th Street and 7th Avenue North. The 61-year-old man on the bike is expected to be okay. The driver was not ticketed.
Icy roads are being blamed after a teenager was hit by a car today in Grand Forks. Police say a 16-year-old was crossing the street in the 2200 block of 20th Avenue South when the teen slipped and fell. A vehicle driven by a 17-year-old was unable to stop at the icy intersection. The 16-year-old teen was hit and taken to the hospital for injuries. The driver of the car was not hurt. Police are still investigating. It's still breezy out there, and that means snow is blowing onto roadways, keeping them slick in spots. Hutch, we're ready for that warming trend, even if it's just a few degrees.
Well, good deal, because it all begins tomorrow, but overnight we're going to continue with the gusty winds and dangerous wind chills across the area. Here's a look at the latest wind measurements, and calming down a bit in Grand Forks at 8 miles per hour, but still closer to 20 in Fergus Falls with gusts to 26 miles per hour. Factor in the winds and it feels quite chilly out there. Wind chills between 5 and 20 below at this hour as temperatures will continue to fall this evening, briefly below zero in locations, particularly in northwest Minnesota, where we have more significant snowpack. But as we go toward the morning hours, a few clouds will filter in from the west and temperatures will actually begin climbing a bit for some of us, but still a chilly start without the gusty winds. I'll have details in hour-by-hour style, what you can expect throughout your day tomorrow, and we'll talk about some even warmer weather as we head toward the weekend.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
Officials say a building was a total loss following a fire in Polk County, Minnesota. It happened today around 3 in the afternoon at a shop in Erskine, Minnesota, which is 30 miles east of Crookston. Authorities say there were no injuries and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. The building belonged to Northern Plains Rail Service.
North Dakotans said yes to medical pot, and now there's a push for full-blown legalization. Legal marijuana advocates are readying to gather the more than 13,000 signatures. If they do get enough, the measure will go on the ballot in November. One angle that proponents are pushing is the potential economic impact.
I see the state of our schools. Look at the state of UND after a 20% budget cut. And at the end of the day, we all know it's not harming anybody. So think about what that money can do. If you're in a small town, I want you to think about what 30,000 an acre of profits would do for your town.
The proposal would regulate marijuana like alcohol, meaning that you'd have to be 21 to purchase and use it. Last November, medical marijuana was approved by voters, but it's expected to be another year before it's available in the state.
The North Dakota Department of Transportation is aiming to keep the roads safer this holiday. Beginning December 16th, the agency will launch its Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. During this time, there will be an increased presence of law enforcement patrolling state roads for drunk drivers. In the last 5 years, more than 300 people have lost their lives in alcohol-related accidents statewide. And during the holiday season last year, 2 people were killed and more than 40 others were hurt. The program will run through the end of January.
The U.S. House has passed a bill making it easier to legally carry a concealed gun across state lines. It would allow gun owners with a state-issued concealed carry permit to carry a gun in any other state that allows concealed weapons. Republicans argued that gun owners with permits should be allowed to concealed carry across the state lines without being hamstrung by conflicting rules. Democrats criticized the bill, saying it would infringe on the rights of states who may have different restrictions. The bill would also strengthen requirements of the National Instant Criminal Background Check System to buy guns, but it's unknown whether the Senate will take up the bill.
President Donald Trump has reversed decades of U.S. policy, recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The move begins the multi-year process of moving the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, while asking the region to show restraint. Jerusalem is Israel's holiest city, but also home to one of Islam's holiest sites. And the Palestinians want East Jerusalem as their own capital. Israel is pleased with President Trump's move and thinks the move will advance the peace process. But Arab leaders are warning of the fallout. Protests have already started in the West Bank and Gaza. The UN Security Council has called an emergency meeting for Friday.
More sexual harassment claims in Washington, D.C., and many are calling for a change.
Lawmakers looking for new ways to prevent sexual harassment in the workplace. I'm Kelly Meyer reporting from Washington, why they want to make a legal change and why some experts say that won't be enough.
But first, advice on how to make it through your holiday decorating unscathed.